Hey guys, welcome. My name is Lisa Forbes Cardello, and I am one of the coaches for Winning Edge Pageant Coaching here in Kansas City or Lee Summit, Missouri. I just want to thank Steve Wilson for having me on today, and super excited to be here. I'm excited for you all on your journey to Miss America and Miss America's teen. So, without further ado, let's jump in. So, a little bit about me. I have been coaching now for, almost 20 years in the pageant world. I started out in the 1990s. So I've been a walking coach primarily for the last 20 years, but I also do a little bit of interview. Walking is my favorite. I love stage presence. I love really fine tuning the girls for stage work. And I know for Miss America, things are heating up this year. There's been a huge change in walking and stage presence and what they're looking for. Steve and I chatted a little bit about this, and the biggest thing I want you guys to be thinking about is really getting that pizzazz and that it factor and that sparkle effect on stage. So I really, really like to fine tune that. I love doing it in person, guys. If you are ever in Lee Summit, Missouri, or ever headed this way in Kansas City, let me know. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram. Or shoot me an email. I'll give Steve my contact information, and I would love to work with you all in person. But with that being said, let's highlight some of the things that are super important when you're on stage at Miss Missouri, at Miss Missouri's teen, and at nationals, because it is so important. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about, and we're going to watch a couple videos here in a second, is what I like to call the it factor. I've had the opportunity and the pleasure of talking to a lot of judges on stage over the years, and one thing they really always consistently say is they want to be entertained on stage. They want a girl that has that it factor the second that they walk on stage, and that really walks out with a bang. So the most important thing that honestly, whether you're in an interview or walking on stage, you want to walk out with a here I am stage presence. It's walking out like, not in a cocky way, but you know that you're the winner, and you know that you have everything it takes for that job and that title of Miss Missouri or Miss Missouri's teen. Okay. So you want to walk out with the it factor. What does that mean? That means walking out with that stage presence. And I'm going to do a couple little demos for you in just a second. And I pulled two videos off of Miss America from this last year that I want to highlight of what the it factor is. So you guys want to walk out with the it factor. I am a huge proponent of lots of hits and lots of like sass and not sexy, but like a very flirty it factor on stage. And I'll go over what that looks like in just a second. But you want to walk out with two things. One, your hips are your motor for on stage. And I'll go through what that means in a second. But your hips are primarily doing the majority of the work. This second part, and I actually was taught this in the 1990s, and it's still so true today, is your face and your eyes, okay? Your eyes, your smile, your like connectivity piece with the judge. Those of you that have worked with me know that I am huge on connectivity with your judges. And a lot of girls are like, what does that mean? How does that set me apart? If you guys are doing two things, okay, whether it's gown, whether it's fitness, whether it's opening number, if you guys are walking out with that it factor, so using your hips, using your waist and your core and working it, which I'll show you more of that in just a second. If you're working that and you're working your face, okay, you're connecting with your judges. Those are the biggest two things that are going to give you guys that it factor and that separation from the rest of the pack. Okay, you've got to find a way, especially if you guys, if you are the winner of Miss Missouri America, Miss Missouri's teen, and heading to nationals, it's already thinking what's going to set me apart at that national pageant, and that's going to be having that it factor on stage. Okay, so what does that mean? Go back to your face. So while you guys are on stage, and I'm just going to so you can see this, pretend that there's a line of judges here. I'm going to be smiling, obviously, and I'm going to be connecting and looking at my judges using your shoulders and really having that connectivity piece and looking at their soul, looking through their eyes and looking at them. Don't just look like through them or look over them or scan the audience with your eyes. You want to connect and look at your judges and make sure that you see them and they see you. Okay, so don't be afraid to look at your judges, and also don't be afraid to divide your time up with your eyes out to your audience and to your judges. Okay, before we jump in, I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks. I'm going to pop up and do some walking for you. You guys are blessed. What I mean by that, well, in a lot of ways, what I mean by this is you have the internet at your fingertips. So, for example, this evening when I was like, I really want to pull some clips of what I feel like when I went back and watched Miss America, who had the it factor and who had that sparkle effect on stage and why. Um, I would be happy to do this. I just don't have enough time for you guys, but I went through all the finalists in Miss America for fitness and for gown, and honestly, some of them weren't that fun to watch. Others were super fun to watch, and I would love to go through each one and like give my play-by-play critique. But I did pick out the ones that are the one girl, woman in each fitness and in gown that I felt like had the it factor and why. So I want to share this with you really quick, and I think it'll let me while I play it. I'm going to be able to talk through it because I want you guys to hear what I'm thinking and why. So I want to jump over. This is Miss America. Okay, this is the finals, and this is Texas. I loved her on stage, so hopefully this is working. I'm going to play this and talk through it. Okay. Okay. So this is Texas. Let me turn the music up on her just a little bit. Okay. So she walked out. Okay. So Texas walks out with a ton of it factor. Okay. She has a ton of sparkle. She's working her face. Her chin is down. She has a lot of energy. I'm just going to mute this. She has a ton of energy on stage. She's working her hips. She's working her face. She's got that sass effect. She's fun to watch. A lot of the judges have always told me we want to be entertained. Find me the girl that's super entertaining on stage. Okay. She's adorable, but she was super fun to watch. I know this is going on to the next girl. I watched all these. This is okay. She's really slow and kind of flat and beautiful girl, great facials, but overall, just not super exciting to watch. Not as much as Texas. Texas walked out with a bang. So you can kind of see the difference right away in energy. I wouldn't blow a kiss to the audience. I don't think that's wrong. There's no wrong in pageantry, but it's just not quite as fun, or not quite as, I guess, appropriate is probably what I should say. It's not wrong, but love this gal sass. Love her energy in her face. She's a little too quick. So that's the first thing I would tell her to slow down. Energy is great. Speed is not, because look how quick this pattern is. It's Indiana. So look how quick this pattern is. She's just so flingy and so fast and a little marchy on stage. So I'd like her to flatten that out and slow it down and really milk the stage and not rush off. She's just real flat, not flat, fast right here. So I'd slow that down. Okay, guys? Okay, let me switch over to gown. Okay, so this is actually the winner. She was my favorite in gown. So let's talk about why. You mute this a little bit. Okay, so this is your winner, obviously Colorado in gown. I love this gown on her. It's stunning. It flatters her body. Red is perfection on her. I'm a huge, those that you know me, I love chins tilted down because it makes you use your eyes. So if you watch her, she's got a beautiful position of her head and her face. Her chin is down. She's working her eyes. She's working her face. She's got a very endearing, very genuine, beautiful smile. I love that turn. She held it. All that stunning. So I love that. I love her pace on stage. I love her arm placement. She has a soft swagger to her, and she's just oozing with confidence and oozing with comfortability in her own skin. I love that. Okay. I'm not sure who's next. I don't know what state this is. Okay, this is good. She looks beautiful. I love the gown. Maryland. She's a little frozen a little bit. The winner had a lot more it factor, in my opinion, than this young woman. The gown is beautiful. She's stunning. I think the winner just had a little bit more it factor. So that's where I would place these two. I'm going to stop sharing this for you guys and flip back over. So what I was saying earlier is you guys are so blessed that you have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at your fingertips, and oodles of video footage and past pageants, past Miss Americas. You can even watch Miss USA or whatever pageant. But what I really like to do, you guys, is if you can find old videos or videos from this year, go back and find the winners or even the non-winners or the top 5 and see what about those women set them apart to you. So if they had great stage presence, watch it, milk it, put that into your own formula. I would totally take Miss Colorado's evening gown presentation. I thought that was stunning. It was captivating, beautiful. It oozed confidence and class and all that. Her gown was so well fitted and she's beautiful. So like things like that. Watch, I love her head placement and her using her face and her eyes, and she looks so genuine. Miss Texas and fitness, tons of energy, tons of confidence, with some sass, with she just walked out on that stage and had the total it factor. So and those were obviously your top two. So you can see kind of where and why that stage presence resonated so well with the judges and why it took them so far. So all the good stuff at your fingertips. Okay, let me jump up. I'm going to show you a couple poses and a couple ways that I like to start a lot of my clients when they're walking. Again, always feel free if anyone needs a private or personal session. I do coach almost every day of the week here in Kansas City. So feel free to reach out on Facebook or Instagram and I can get you scheduled. I'm going to kind of show you a couple of the tips and tricks that I start every woman out with or young lady to get her going. And then we really formulate her style and her presence to her. A lot of people ask me, does everyone get coached the same or trained the same? And the answer is yes and no. The very beginning of learning to walk for everybody is kind of the same because you have to learn like how to move your hips. But outside of that first initial session or first initial like 20 minutes, no, because we all are built and wired and structurally, physiologically, we're just built differently and nobody moves the same. So everybody will have their own individual style and walk and head tilts and eyes and flirty and all that kind of stuff. So I've never ever seen two girls walk the same in my life. We're just no two people are the same, but everyone has to learn and start somewhere, and everyone's foundation has to be somewhere because you have to learn how to use your hips. Okay, so let's do a quick tutorial so you guys can see this. I'm going to jump up really quick. Okay, so a couple tips and tricks I want to show you guys is hands in your waist. So when you guys are getting ready to get started and learning your body and learning your stage presence, your hips are your motor. So I'm going to angle this down. The smallest part of your waist is your motor. That's your hips. That's the small, or your waist, not your hips. Your hips are your motor, and your waist is where you want your hands to be, okay? There really are two poses for fitness, really, okay? There's your side-to-side pose. What that's going to look like is side-to-side. So it could be either leg is out, and you want to have a toe or a heel up, and you really want to sit into that hip, okay? So there's your side-to-side pose, and then there's more of your pageant pose. Your pageant pose is going to be somewhat, I think my dancers call it fourth position or whatever position, but it's going to be kind of a T stance or a soft B, okay? That's going to be more classic for your evening gown. Let me show it to you again. So it's 2 feet together, 1 foot pulled back, and a soft V. Hands can be in your waist, or one arm up. It is so critical, guys. I see this all the time. You want your wrist to be down. I see a lot of girls like this, or like this, or this, or this. Wrist down, soft fingers, everything is relaxed. The other thing you want to be thinking about is standing tall. So chest tall, head tall, shoulders down. You want to have great posture and be very like leadership. So nice and tall, wrist down, shoulders down, nice and tall, and sassy. Okay, the last tip and trick that I want to show you just when it comes to posing. So you heard me talk about your eyes. I'm gonna let you see this, okay? When you guys are on stage, it's just my personal formula. I don't like chins up like this, okay? I like chins down, okay? If you're using your face and your chin is down, you're gonna be a lot more approachable with your chin down and using your face and looking at your judges than you're gonna be with your chin up and looking down like that, looking down at your judges, because it's not as personable. So chin down, use your face, you can use your shoulders, flirty, 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 connect, 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 okay? The last piece of advice I want to teach you guys, just so you have somewhere to start in case you just never had a walking lesson, maybe you've never competed, it's your first time, or for a brush up, okay? So this is stuff I do at home all the time, so don't make fun of me. But, okay, with your hips, I do a lot of walking and walking side to side to side to side. This is my warm-up always. So the same foot that hits the hip goes the same way. So right foot, right hip, left foot, left hip, and so on and so on. So I'm going to do it in motion, and I'm going to drop my arms too, okay? So drop, arm swing, drop, 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 okay? Big hips. So lots of arms, lots of hips, lots of sass, okay? The last part I want to show you guys, and I can send you more videos if you guys need, or do additions to this if you need. I just want you to see it. The last part that's so important, again, while you're posing, wrists are down, nice and tall, and you're using your face, using your shoulders, and big smile, and connecting with your judges and with your audience. That is so key, and that is so important, guys, okay? One last tip and trick I want you guys to have. So if you are practicing at home, one of the best things you can also do is take video of yourself. I know it sounds cheesy, but the more that you can take video of yourself in the studio and watch yourself, it helps so much to go back and critique and see things that maybe you thought you were smiling. This happens all the time. A young lady might think she's smiling all the time on stage, and she's not. She might be here. And she's like, I'm smiling. No, you got to smile. Like, project, make the judges feel really good. So sometimes videos are so helpful because maybe you thought you were standing tall the whole time and you were slouched the whole time. Or maybe you thought you were smiling on stage the whole time and you just never were. So videos are great to have a check-in and to be able to look at yourself from a judge's lens. Always set it up at the end of your hallway, or if you have a stage or a studio you practice in, set it up at the front so you can really watch yourself and see things that you would change and things that you would like to see that would be stronger on stage. My last thing I want to tell you is always feel free to reach out. So maybe if you've done a practice session and you've recorded yourself on a little blippet of walking or posing on Facebook, I'm Lisa Forbes Cardello. Always feel free to shoot me a message and say, hey, I was practicing today. I took a video. Could you please critique it? I'm always happy to do that. So don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to offer any tips, tricks, or advice. If you want to come up for a private session, we can always powwow and do that and really break down your entire walk and build it up from scratch and get you ready to go together. So happy to help with that. But I'm really happy for you guys. I'm really excited. You're going to have a great year, a great journey. Steve is amazing. The entire Missouri board is amazing. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, I'm Lisa Forbes Cardello. I'm going to shoot you my phone number as well real quick. It's 913-271-0635. Always feel free to text me. I'm best by text and best by Facebook Messenger or Instagram, and we can keep you moving forward and keep that trajectory going. So good luck. I love you guys. If you need anything, please reach out. Thanks for having me. Bye.